A couple of months ago, I found myself in the middle of a pretty big decision. I was about to buy this crazy expensive new gadget that I thought I absolutely needed in my life. Yeah, we've all been there. But something in the back of my mind told me to slow down. Was this really something I needed? Or was I just caught up in the hype? I took a step back, grabbed the notepad, and started thinking through. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. My brain wanted to say, just buy it. But instead, I did something a little different. I applied critical thinking. I looked at the pros and cons, thought about my long term goals, and I didn't buy it. And guess what? Turns out I'm still living, thriving, and surviving without it. This got me thinking about how critical thinking is such an underrated skill that can literally change how you make decisions, solve problems, and honestly, just see the world. Here's the thing about critical thinking. At its core, it's about asking questions, the right questions. Have you ever noticed how little kids are constantly asking why? Why is the sky blue? Why do birds fly? As annoying as that might get, they're onto something. They're challenging the information they're given. And that's what we need to do as adults too. So, the first step is simple. Start asking more questions. Let's say you hear something on the news or read something online. Don't just take it at face value. Ask yourself, who's saying this? Why are they saying this? What's their motivation? What's the evidence? It sounds basic, but you'd be surprised how often we skip this step in everyday life. Think of it like peeling back layers of an onion. The more layers you peel, the closer you get to the truth. And yeah, sometimes that truth makes you cry, but it's worth it. Now, here's the part where it gets a little uncomfortable. We all have beliefs and assumptions that guide how we see the world. Maybe you believe that pineapple on pizza is a crime. I agree, by the way. Or maybe you think your way of doing things is the only way. But critical thinking means being willing to challenge your own beliefs. Here's a crazy thought. What if you're wrong? I know, shocking, right? Think about how many times you've been convinced of something only to find out later that you were totally off base. I used to think multitasking was the best way to get more done. I was constantly juggling 10 things at once, thinking I was super productive. But when I actually dug into the research and tried focusing on one thing at a time, I realized I had been wrong all along. Now I get way more done in less time, all because I challenged that belief. You ever have one of those arguments where you're so sure you're right, but the other person is equally sure they're right, and it just goes nowhere? Well, here's where considering different perspectives comes in. Practice seeing things from someone else's point of view. Imagine you're in a debate about a topic you're super passionate about. Now, take a second and pretend you're on the other side. Seriously, imagine you're arguing against your own opinion. What would you say? How would you defend that position? Doing this doesn't just sharpen your argument skills, it also helps you understand the issue more deeply. You might even find that the other side has a valid point, which is something we all need to be a little more open to these days. We live in a world that's all about speed, instant news, instant food, instant gratification. But critical thinking? It's a slow process. It's about stepping back, analyzing the situation, and taking your time to make a decision. Remember that story I shared at the beginning? The reason I didn't make a snap decision was because I slowed down. I gave myself time to think through the consequences, and that's something we need to do more of. Next time you're faced with a big decision or even a small one, hit pause. Don't rush into it. Trust me, slowing down might feel weird at first, but it's like giving your mind the space to do its best work. The last point I want to make is this. Critical thinking isn't something you just learn and then forget about. It's a skill you have to practice every day, like working out or brushing your teeth. The more you practice, the sharper your thinking becomes. Next time you're scrolling through social media, stop and analyze the posts. Ask questions, challenge the content, and consider different perspectives. Ask the right questions, challenge your beliefs, consider other perspectives, slow down, and practice every day. These steps can transform the way you see the world, make decisions, and solve problems. And who knows, you might even end up saving a few bucks on gadgets you don't really need. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Share this video to your friends and family. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.